flash-based prototype, and then invest and be able to capture one projector product from Nokia, and then 4 more flash-based telephones from Nokia. Now, during this time frame, we project to make year 5 revenue of around 20 million bucks. Now, for our bull case scenario, we assume that we're able to capture Apple, and that's a big assumption. But with that, it really shows you the value of the increase in the flash technology and a year 5 projection of around $96 million. We know that's a lot of money, and we acknowledge that, but it really just shows the upside of the flash technology. On a bear case scenario, we make the assumption that we're unable to make the flash technology and just stick with the projector-based market. In this case, we assume we get 2 of Samsung's projector phones, and in that, on a year 5 projection, we make around $500,000 in revenue. So now, Jonathan's talked a little about what the problem is. Prasanna talked about how Slick can solve this problem. Nick talked a little bit about the marketing aspects of it, and we just referenced the finance perspective. So now what are the risks of this product? Well, first is the flash-based technology. We acknowledge that that is a huge risk for us, and we saw the value of that technology on the previous slide. However, we do realize that we still have access to the projector market if we do not succeed in producing the flash projection. Now, in addition, as Nick was alluding to earlier, we have a bunch of different verticals that we can pursue as well. Now, from a pricing perspective, we realize that we're going to be a small fish in a big pond. We know that we're not going to be able to go in and boss around Apple or Nokia. So we reached out to an industry professional and asked him kind of what pricing we should do. And what we did was we took less than 30% of that price and put it into our model to make sure we're conservative and acknowledge that we may be a smaller fish. Another thing is maybe Slick doesn't really fit into the camera phone market. Now, we really feel like it will. However, if it doesn't, we also have a lot of other markets that we can pursue from a security standpoint, from a healthcare standpoint, and also from a compact digital camera standpoint. And finally, from a risk standpoint, we have to worry about revenue sharing. As Prasanna alluded to, we have filed a patent on our first product. However, SMU has the rights to that patent, and we have to acknowledge that there are some revenue sharing potential obstacles that come in the way. We have 2 ways to mitigate this risk. One is to continue to focus on our outside digital flash patents and focus on pricing on those. And 2, approach SMU and ask them to purchase that product. So now what we're all here for? We're here to ask for around $550,000 in seed capital to develop our company. We have $20,000 for R&D infrastructure development. We have already developed a working prototype for prototype 1, which Prasanna alluded to. Prototype 2 will be a projector camera phone. We expect that to cost around $30,000 to develop. And then the big one is the flash technology. And we acknowledge that it's the biggest and best and most expensive to develop. On top of that, we have around $100,000 for additional expenses such as patents and licensing and other business development. So how does Slick exit this market? We found 6 companies that we felt would be a great fit for us to purchase us in the long run. One of them is Philips, which Jonathan alluded to, would help diversify their product base. Another is TI, who's reached out to us to help implement our software onto their own app. Another is Google, who has a wide, diverse product range, and our Slick technology would really help accentuate that, from Google goggles and all the way to the Android market. And finally, we can talk a little bit about Microsoft, who has already advanced a lot into the 3D market, and our patent can help augment the existing technology and improve it. So we talked to an industry executive about what our product really provides, and this is what he said to us. Slick technology has the potential to be a great leap forward for any vision-enabled devices and applications. So we have a great team and a proven product, and now we're ready to make this business plan a reality. Thank you for your time, and thank you for all the sponsors. We'd like to open it up for questions.
Okay, great presentation, and I'm glad you addressed patents, because that was something I wasn't 100% sure on. And so there are 2 patents, is that correct? I don't know who's going to be.
Yeah.
And both are
there's
pending.
1 patent pending, the other one is in preparation. So we're going to get filed.
Okay. And could you say a little bit more about your potential partnership with TI? I mean, obviously you've got some inroads there. I think for us to even begin thinking about this going further, that's going to be one of the cornerstones. So could you tell me a little bit about what you think is behind it, how it can expand?
So we have started talking to Creative Community Development Group already, and they are they have agreed to give us OMAP platform. That platform is there in Motorola and Samsung, many other camera phones. And we are also talking to ecosystems. The group that pretty much takes care of talking to like startup companies and bringing them on board and investigate the potential for partnership.
In addition, I think it's important to notice that TI invented the Pico projector. So we're really complementing their existing technology. So if we can come in and help them sell more Pico projectors, I think they're likely to say, hey, this is a good business that we can partner with and really expand our bottom line too.
Have you talked to the investment arm at TI? And they're certainly interested in certain niches about making an investment, or?
So we're actually making inroads in that end. So this is basically, so we're talking to two groups. One of them, as Vikram mentioned, was a creative community development group, and the other one is the ecosystem. So they're basically currently looking at some of the videos that we've created for them to try and explain the potential. It's pretty similar to the presentation that we just showed you. So we hope to get a call from them, but it looks very promising right now.
In your business plan, you talked a lot about the initial target market and how big it could be, and you covered that today. But having a lot of scar tissue in ourselves in the cell phone space, the camera space, the electronic space, have you done enough work because it didn't come through the business plan to understand the difference between sort of the must-haves and nice-to-haves and what a manufacturer is willing to spend for that? Because at the end of the day, in the space you're talking about, it's all about cost and what those trade-offs are.
Oh, can you just go back?
Yeah.
So maybe just to build on that, I mean, what's the BOM of a cell phone and how do you guys fit into the BOM?
Right, that's
Okay, so this is your first question, the cost basis. These are 5 of the largest smartphones available right now, and this is the cost for the camera cost, specific hardware cost for the camera cost, as well as other costs. And what we did is we wanted to make sure we were pricing our license and our patents well below 10% of the market. So if you look at Apple, it's $10. 10% would be $1.75, and we're pricing our product at around 33 cents. So this is all these are hardware costs, and they have additional licensing and marketing and management costs. So we wanted to make sure that our phone license for our camera was well under 10% to make sure that we're comparable and competitive with the market. And the second question, I'm sorry.
Just the BOM. I mean, you're kind of late coming in.
But it's really, my question was more about, given that you've done some work there to understand sort of that's your frame of reference. If you look at sort of what someone's willing to spend next year and the year after, which tends to be that number's going to get smaller as the features get bigger.
Yeah.
In terms of sort of rationalizing the incremental cost to add a feature that's not there today, and what their trade-offs are between what they need to have because they're going to compete on basically 3D. I don't care what it does, as long as it says 3D, I want it. Versus there's a driver that says I want a capability and I'm willing to pay for it. Do you have a sense for that yet?
So, the best example is the recent trend. Like for example, Apple has actually filed patents where they try to allude to the fact that they want to embed Pico projectors within their phones. So they stop of doing these things. TI is majorly pushing for embedding Pico projectors within their phones. So what we're trying to say is this is something that's going to happen. So all we'd like to do is we just provide these algorithms which kind of enhance the capabilities. I mean, there's already talk of putting these things on there. So this is not something, what I'm saying is this won't be something, they won't be spending extra money to put this together. So there's already talks of putting these things together. All we're trying to do is enhance the capabilities of what's being currently provided.
I think it's good to note that the SLIT technology, you can use the existing camera that's in a phone now, whereas the other 3D captures it's a whole new camera setup. And that's, we think more than likely we're going to have a cost advantage in that regard for our technology because it is so adaptable.
So you guys have a pretty big team here. Given that some of this stuff may take longer than expected, I would guess, $550,000, how much cushion does that give you?
Initially what we thought is we wanted to have $50,000 for running in case something happens. We acknowledge that this is potentially CTAP, or if the flash technology doesn't pan out, we need to focus on a different market. We know that we may have to go back to the capital markets and access things that way. But right now we built in around about a 10% buffer in order to compensate for potential overruns. That's we're